Everyone, unmute your mics. Clap for Vigil. Christ. Woo!
Yeah.
Vigil. All right. Yeah. Puts me in the fucking mood. Let's go. Welcome to Vigil. This is a fairly fast payload map. The reason being mostly because sniper angles are kind of dog shit compared to a lot of other payload maps like Swiftwater and Upward looking at you two. The big thing about this is even though the sniper is ass, you still need that sniper to die. A lot of pushing on Vigil is really preparation. You don't need to brute force your way through a lot of this. You can play it pretty smart, play it pretty slow. Just make sure your teams are alive and not feeding and not dying. And as long as you get your sniper to the good angle, you can take these pushes on Vigil pretty well. All right, so as usual, I'm going to be going over defense first on every point and then offense, and then just go them one by one. So let's talk about Vigil really quick. So you know the rollout. You're gonna come over, drop your telly, all this shit. Now here's the thing. Because first is quite the throwaway point here on Vigil, you don't really need a telly over here. What you'll see a lot of NGs do is they'll drop this telly exit here in this corner. Because this isn't really for first, it's more a setup for second when you eventually back out to second. It's not a huge deal. You can even put this exit without an entrance. There's really no significant difference whatsoever. But it is good to have an exit over here, just in general, for reasons that will become apparent when we talk about second defense. So this is just looking ahead. Like, if you want an exit over here, cool. If you don't, also cool. Just, you know, let your team know. Talk to them. See what they want. Now, what's the hold like over here on first? So you've got a couple options. Generally speaking, the dispenser just always goes over here in this back wall. There's not really too much variation. People just put that shit over there and let it be. Now you're going to see a lot of people at lower divs, they're going to think that you put the dispenser further up over here against this mesh fence. Now this is really stupid. There's a big reason why you don't want to do this. So what's going to happen is your entire team is going to congregate around the dispenser, and they're going to think that they're safe because haha, there's a wall over here. Couldn't be further from the truth. What happens is a soldier fast bombs, he ends up over here and he splashes against the ceiling, or he just hits two massive directs, or his demo comes over here and pipes in general. It's just ass, or even like all sorts of shit can happen when you guys are coming over here because you're so much more exposed, and they can see where you're holding and they know what they're walking into, so they can prepare for the push. So you don't want to do that. Remember, your dispenser comes back here against this back wall. They have no vision. You're pretty happy over here. Now, apart from that little rant on the dispenser, where does the sentry go? Now, if you're being a super cool boy, what you're going to want to do is you're going to put your dispenser, your sentry up here, not the dispenser. Your sentry goes up on this crate. The reason being, what you can do after that is you can have your sniper jump up onto this box. I don't think I can do that as an NG. Oh, I can now because I was worried my sentry was blocking me. But what's going to happen is if you want your gun up here, you're going to be a super cool boy, and your sniper's going to sit inside your sentry. And this way, you've got a sentry and a sniper just sitting on top of each other. Your Wrangler shield will absorb a lot of shots. For your sniper just generally gets to be a lot more impervious to the SVS, and it's just kind of a son of a bitch to deal with. The problem with this is that it's a lot harder to actually access your gun and like kind of keep it alive. But considering the main purpose of this sentry position is just for your sniper, that's not really a big concern. This keeps your sniper alive. Otherwise, the basic position is pretty much just right here. There's not much to it. You're just going to put it around this corner. You're going to have it wrangled over here, dealing with the gun, dealing with the players on hill. Slight angle maybe into that, but this is actually pretty bad. So, yeah, you're not going to have that really happening. But that's pretty much it. First is a fairly passive hold, so you're going to just expect to have to back out pretty soon after your gun dies. All right, so that's all with the players... with the engineer buildings. So your medic and your pyro are just going to be sitting over here and just doing fun shit, like sitting over here and healing people and playing with their dicks, because you guys don't get to have fun. Now, if you're doing it the flare way, if you're doing a first hold on Vigil the flare way, you're going to be playing forward with your heavy up on this rock where he gets to head glitch, and he gets to come over here, crouch down, and be like, I do not like this fight. And then he gets to drop away and just generally kind of take fights at his leisure. Meanwhile, your demo's going to be down here fighting this hill and pressuring tracks kind of forward while the gun is back here, holding it for both of you. Here's the thing about this forward hold. It's very good at delaying a lot of card time and just buying you an extra 30 seconds, 40 seconds on first if you know what you're doing. But you need to be very careful that you don't overstay your welcome here, because there's a very important thing to note is that the demo cannot stay forward without the heavy. The heavy cannot stay forward without the demo, because both of you need each other. You need each other like chocolate needs vanilla. All right? So, yeah, just make sure you both are alive and you're not playing this solo. So apart from this stupid shit, if you don't want to do this flare forward hold shit, because I understand not everyone wants to do that, it's pretty basic. Heavy just back here on the dispenser. Demo just sits on top of the gun. You're just going to spam that hill and delay them as much as you can. Not much to it. So the real gamers here on first defense are going to be the flank, who are fighting in here in the flank house. There's not But again, it's really pretty basic. You're just a scout and a soldier in here on that flank house fighting. I don't recommend you actually play super far forward trying to choke them off here because this is not actually that strong. What a lot of players will do is they'll bring a soldier, wrap them around through the back here, and then they'll jump in through this window, and then now you have to deal with a fight from this side and that side. So again, same. Just don't think you're super strong over here. You're not going to take a great fight. You're actually better off playing kind of far back as a soldier, and a scout, you're just going to shoot what your soldier does. And I recommend you kind of back off fairly early and just start trying to fight over this hold over here. Control this flank route. You don't want to die. That's the most important thing. Dying is always bad on defense. Dying sucks. And I happen to know someone who died once, and, you know, he came back from heaven. He told me it's not very cool. So remember, fellas, don't die. All right, that is pretty much the basics of first defense. There's not really anything particularly fancy going on. I should talk about sniper. Apart from sniper sitting on the gun spot over here, which is what I recommend you do if you've got a gun up there, sniper on first is really just take heals, come over here, watch angles, spam over, shoot gun over here, shoot hill, yada yada. Not much to it. But that is pretty much it. Any questions about first defense? Because it is really fairly uncomplicated.
So you said the heavy plays like by the rock on the head glitch, right?
If you're doing it my aggressive version, then yeah, you're going to be head glitching over here on this rock.
All right, to escape, should I just go through tunnel, or should I just go back to the team on like this slope area?
Go through tunnel. The problem with this is if you're backing out from rock over here, and you're trying to back up onto hill, first of all, you're heavy, you're slow as shit, so you're going to be kind of like waddling your way all the way over there. Second, you're going to be walking back into a big sight line, and as a heavy, again, that's critical because they will just chase you through it, so you're really just better off jumping down here, and if you know someone's chasing you, you rev around this corner, wait for them to walk into you, and it's pretty fun. Just catch them off guard. But yeah, you just leave through tunnel, walk all the way back around, look, there's a health pack, and then you get out the second.
Alright, cool.
Alright, any more questions? Alright, take that as a no. We're moving on to offense. Offense on Vigil first. So, I want to get this out of the way right from the start, because I'm not going to talk about it too much later, but Vigil first. If they are holding aggressive, because you'll see some people who attempt an aggressive Vigil first hold, because they think they can put a gun over there and watch cart, it's very simple. You Uber into them, no qualms about it. Don't like faff around too much. All you need to do is just bring a demo and a heavy together, kill the gun, and have everyone collapse in on post Uber. There's not much to do, or from kill the gun and collapse on them. If they're trying to hold over here, it's really bad because they're going to be able to get chased out. There's no easy way for them to leave. You know, they have no way to back out easily if they just get rushed at. So it's pretty much it. Just Uber into them. Don't overthink it too much. Just don't feed players. You're fine. Okay, so apart from that one basic note, let's talk about the actual general setup for pushing into first. So what I recommend is you're just going to want to get your engine, your scout over here, or heavy and engineer, just your engineer and someone over here pushing cart. At least ×2 is fine, not too big a deal. Now, you're going to send your scout and your soldier and your pyro. Your pyro should be coming out here because your pyro doesn't have jack shit else to do. And all three of you are going to want to come over here and take over flank house. Check for stickies. A lot of people like putting stickies over there. Just come up over here, take the fight against the soldier, make sure he gets back the fuck off. And yeah, you're just going to control this. Now, when this is free, your sniper is going to be coming out over here through the right side, and he's going to take control over flank house too. The reason you want to do this is because there is, well, I wish I could show this to you. I'm going to show this to you as a sniper. Basically, you're window over there and take control over first point from a nice angle and be protected by his flank once he's in that position. And this way your sniper is able to be fairly well guarded while your combo is still sitting on cart or just playing separate from heals, because that is a big problem otherwise. But alright, so god damn it, rude, very rude. There we go. Alright, here's an FYI. There's the tiniest of pixels. I don't know how well it transfers on screen, but there's the tiniest of pixels here. That is a shot. It's barely usable, but it is there. And if you don't want to do that, you can always just take it pretty standard. Just walk out here, take the wide angle, have your flank watch you. Yep, pretty much it. Now, after this, once you take control of this as a sniper, you have this control and everything. Maybe you don't like this angle. Maybe your flank isn't watching you anymore. They're trying to push through that flank route. What you want to do is you just drop down, play behind the cart from this position now. And that way you've got cart players who can watch you, and that's really it. So, Sometimes demos can also walk in there and take the flank house with the flank. It's not too bad, nothing terrible about it. But the end goal for the demo should be to walk over here to hill, just use your pipes, spam them over there, get the gun on that corner, get the gun, get anyone that's trying to play on that side of the fence. You just need to spam them and generally force them to play behind the fence so that they're not shooting your cart pushers. And then after that, your players just push the cart all the way through. They're gonna have to give this up pretty quickly. Yada yada yada. Now, what do you do if they're doing the thing that I told you to do, which is they're playing their demo and their heavy forward? And they're just trying to deny any cart time possible. What you do is really simple. You bring your sniper, instead of having them go through the flank, which is pretty good too, but in this case, this is even better. Your sniper just comes over here, hard scopes right over here, and he just waits for the heavy to peek over this hill right here. That's all you need to do. Once that heavy peeks, you headshot him, the heavy's down, the demo can't play there anymore because there's nothing covering his ass, you just rush the demo on tracks, and that's really simple. Nothing to it. In this instance, when they're holding behind the fence over there and they're holding passive, you should never need to spend an Uber in order to take first. It does require a bit of finessing. It's not as simple as Swiftwater where you just kind of spam them forever. There's a bit more of an angle to it, but it is still pretty basic. Just don't use Uber, walk at them, spam them out, make them duck away, and then cap point. Any questions? Going
I
once.
have a question. Where usually the combo goes at from?
Oh, like I said, for the heavy, you can just be on cart if you want with your NG. Otherwise, heavy's just coming over here and peeking from hill is fine. Here's one thing I've seen heavies do a lot is they'll just run straight through. They'll try to use a slight slip in their defense, and the heavy just walks straight through tunnel and starts playing over here. And this is kind of dumb, but it works sometimes. But the demo, like I said, the demo just, you can go over, take flank house with your flank first if you want, or you can just come over here to hill immediately and start fighting, and that's fine. Your medic just needs to stay in spawn until you guys have won first.
Just a quick question. Going back to defense real quick, what are some common spy spots to look out for?
Nothing in particular, just turn around.
Okay.
Like, because if you guys are just all sitting, like, the big thing for spy is you two playing forward over here. Spies will just, like, decloak back here with the moment you're a little distracted, come for the stab. They'll decloak over here in this corner where your teammates can't call for you, and then they just round over here and go for the demo, things like that. So, I mean, there's not much you can do about that. You just need to be turning around as much as you can. And as for the combo that's holding over here, this shutter is closed. Oh no, that shutter isn't closed actually, but this one is right here. Either way, like, the spy can just come over here, decloak over here, and then jump around and try to go for a stab. You just need to be making sure you're turned around, because a lot of these spots are just, you're not really going to be able to call it out. Just make sure that you're turning around often.
Alrighty.
So you said the pyro sticks around with the flank because it just really has nothing better to do, right? Something like that?
Yeah. When you guys have won first and you're bringing your medic out, it is your job to go back to your medic and make sure there's no spy coming for the play on your medic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that's really it. Before that happens, I mean, you can just stick with your flank and just have fun with them. You don't really have much else better to do. If they're winning and they don't need you, just go play cart so you can, like, reflect stickies while you're capping. I don't know. Like, go find where you're useful is essentially all I can give you after that.
Sounds good.
All right, any more questions? Going once.
What about on offense? Because not much was talked about with pyro on offense.
Oh no, that is offense when I was talking about.
I mean defense, not offense. Sorry.
No, you're just sitting here, spy checking.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Easy.
Yeah, you have nothing to do on first. I'm sorry. All right. Any more questions? Otherwise, we're just gonna move on to second real quick. Going once. Going twice. And we're moving on. All right, so Vigil second. The hold is pretty simple. Gun, always on... This is very important. Gun always must be on the back of this platform. Towards the back here. So there is a tiny... hang on, let me move it actually at the corner. The reason this is important is because there is a tiny spam angle that some demos can do that will hit a gun that's playing forward. So you just need to make sure that your gun is actually at the back, because then it won't take the direct damage from a demo spamming. You don't really need to know that spam angle as a demo, by the way, because again, it's actually pretty stupid, but sometimes it just ruins the NG's day, and that's all that matters. Okay, but gun there. Let me grab some ammo. Dispensers just against this shed. The sad thing is there's literally no better dispenser spot in the entire hold. There is nothing else that's even halfway decent, so this was kind of a no-brainer. Dispenser goes here. And like I talked about earlier, when we were talking about defense on first, you can have an exit over here on this corner. So the reason this is potentially useful is because you can have your heavy sit on this telly exit, whether or not it's actually connected to an entrance, and then you can head glitch over this way onto Hill. He's a little taller than the NG, mind you, so his view is actually a little higher, but yeah, this way you can kind of sit on top of this, mind the hill, drop down, watch cartons. So your heavy's got a couple more options if you just leave that exit over there. Again, don't need to put an entrance if you don't want to, but it's nice being there. Alright, so your sniper just needs to be controlling hill 90% of the time. Your soldier needs to be over here, watching side tunnel 100% of the time. Your soldier really never plays anywhere else. He's always on guard for this. Your heavy should be over here on hill, and your heavy wants to be playing over on these rocks. That your heavy can kind of barely like pseudo corner peek this. It's kind of like a head glitch because you can choose where your hitbox peeks out over this rock. And, you know, you generally have a lot of control over what parts of your body show while you're fighting card from this position. So it's pretty good. Just have your heavy sit over here, and you can also over-peek this and fight hill from the side. But this is pretty dangerous because you expose a shit ton of yourself. But, yeah. Yeah, as a demo, you're either going to be fighting hill depending on what your sniper calls out, or you're going to be coming over here to reinforce side tunnel depending on what your soldier calls out. So basically, you need to be keeping an eye on both hill and side tunnel because these are the two main options for pushing that happens. And just whichever one their combo looks to be fighting, or whichever one has more activity, you go over and you reinforce as a demo. As a pyro, you're just going to be sitting over here, spy check for your team. That's a common spy spot. Spies will also go back there. Spies will decloak over here. Spies will decloak over there. Spies will decloak over there in secret. Spies will also decloak directly over in that corner. Spies will also decloak around this corner and try to get anyone that overpeaks this. That's a quick rundown of those spy spots, so just make sure you check those real quick. Run a detonator shot over there behind just to catch them off guard. You got it. Just make sure you're spamming. Make sure you're checking for spy. Make sure you're ready for their Uber when they come in and just deny. Alright, and final note. As a sniper, when you're doing this shit and you're fighting on hill and there's nothing going on hill, but your combo's calling that everything's happening in tunnel and like, you know that there's nothing happening over here, a good play for you to do is just jump down over here, play close to tunnel, and watch this long angle. Because then you get to cover tunnel. They don't get to take side tunnel for free, and anyone that's trying to back out or just generally cross this sight line, they have to really deal with you, and it's quite an issue. Alright, so how do you take defensive Ubers on second? So second being the first big point that you do actually have to hold. Here's the basic philosophy behind it. You basically just need to spam them out through all these choke points and not give them any room until they decide to try to take an Uber into you. This is the TLDR. There are a couple other more aggressive ways to do it, but it really is the basic comes down to that. So as long as you don't drop players, as long as you're not bleeding before they push, you have a pretty good chance of winning that hold. So just don't die. Be ready for their Uber, and it's pretty cool. Alright, so here's the things you do need to look out for when they Uber. Number one, don't let their soldier come up over there onto that roof, because their soldier just gets to sit up there for post. It's pretty bad. Number two, don't let their heavy get so close forward that he just destroys all of you. Your pyro really needs to be on top of this stuff. Your pyro really needs to air blast them on hill, and if they're Ubering through side tunnel, your pyro can just take a solo and stuff them over here entirely. Like, no one else needs to be in this Uber, no one else needs to come, everyone else just needs to get out of the way of the stickies of all the spam going in, and let your pyro handle that, because your pyro is fully capable of that. Number three, when you're on defense and you're coming over here and you're peeking this hill, beware of snipers at the bottom of the hill. They often do that shit. Snipers also like to come over there into that flank house, that side house over there, and catch people that are trying to over-aggress. So make sure you're checking them one at a time. Is there a sniper there? You can kind of jump over there. Is there? No? Okay. Corner peek. No sniper? We're good? Okay, you can play this wide. Pretty nice rotation. Everyone. This applies to everyone. If your team is taking a defensive Uber and you do not need to be in it, you back out this way. You don't back in through spawn, where you get locked off by a shutter and then you're too close. You generally back out over through this tiny choke point. Beware, because spies will also often just sit back here and catch everyone backing out. So make sure when you're backing out, you do little whips around it. Make sure your back is checked. You come over here, and then you can round around this way and shoot cart while the entire combo fight is happening there. And you'll be like, I don't care about that. Don't let them have cart time. And then after that, just come back in, collapsing their combo as they're doing that. I've given a pretty basic rundown of this. Like I said, it is really basically as simple as just put your players in these positions and don't die until they use Uber. It really is that simple. As long as you don't die and you're just spamming these angles, they really can't do that much. So, yeah. Any questions?
Sorry, I had to walk out the room, but what should I do with Scout on second point again?
Oh, I didn't mention Scout. Loose positioning just over here on this roof. You can jump up and fight on hill as needed based on what your demo or your sniper's shooting. You can drop down and fight tunnel as needed based on what your soldier's doing.
And who watches side tunnel on defense again?
Soldier.
Okay.
Demo rotates based on what soldier calls.
Is it viable for heavy to watch side tunnel and then just rotate accordingly, or no?
Your heavy... I mean, heavy's playing side tunnel sometimes happens. If your heavy knows that nothing's going on in this position, there's nothing wrong with adding a third body if you know that they're all about this. But this isn't a good permanent position for a heavy to play. Like, this isn't a good place for you to plant your ass and be like, I'm home over there. It's just not great because you need to be ready for when things happen on cart, or if a soldier decides to Mongo bomb through either tunnel or through hill. It happens, and you need to be ready for that.
All right.
Any more questions?
We on offense or defense? Are we going over offense or defense?
We're going
right?
defense.
Okay.
No more questions? Going once. Going twice. Alright, we're moving on to offense. Alright, so offense. Once you guys cap first, very important to note is that hill should be considered off limits until further notice. They probably have a sniper locking this down. If you walk in and you challenge the sniper, look at how much of his ground you have to cover and how much low ground that is for a sniper to just say, I can't take it, and then demo rotates and spams the shit out of you guys. So, hill off limits until further notice. First thing, bring your combo over here and have them help tunnel. You shouldn't necessarily fight tunnel per se, but you should bring your heals over here, because otherwise, if you're not bringing your medic over here and helping your card, your team is going to have a hard time getting a ton of card time. And like a lot of shit can just collapse on your flank and tunnel if they're left alone to their own devices. So you need to be helping them here. Alright, just come over here, heal players on cart. Your heavy and your demo can come over here and try to like poke at side tunnel, try to make an opening. You guys can like have your scout and your soldier and your NG just kind of fight over here, get cart time. Meanwhile, your sniper can either come with and try to get like a stupid kill over here on their players, or what I prefer doing is usually have a sniper sitting back here, and he's still taking the SVS, looking for the SVS on hill. Meanwhile, you leave your pyro back here just to watch over your sniper while your sniper is taking the SVS. Everyone else in this in this tunnel, look at how enclosed it is, look at how little is going on here. You should be able to watch your own back. If you can't watch your own back, I will point and laugh at you while you're playing, and you know, it will hurt. You'll be judged by flare, and it sucks. So yeah, make sure you're watching your own backs. It's not that hard. It's very little space over here. Alright, and yeah, you guys are just going to be sitting over here letting that happen. If your sniper wins the SVS, that is an instant call to push hill. You guys are going to wrap your combo out over there. You're going to take the long fight. You're going to take an Uber. All standard rules of Ubers apply. Lead on your demo. Bring your pyro right behind so you can air blast their pyro when they're trying to air blast your demo. Make the Uber trade first. Once the trade happens, look for whoever isn't Ubered on their team. Usually that means their players are in the back here. They're trying to back out this way. Just like line up pipes in this tight choke point. It's pretty cool. And then yeah, just shoot people, and then once they back the fuck out, then you get the gun. Your heavy during this entire time should be chatting his way up over here and hugging this wall. This way your heavy can kind of peek out this way and shoot the gun during post-uber, or around this corner and help with the actual combo fight. Either one is pretty cool. Either one works pretty well. 9 times out of 10, as long as your soldier can get up here, your soldier taking the shed on this hill during post-uber is amazing, because your soldier just gets up there. Let me just destroy my dispenser and jump up for my own purpose. And then your soldier just sits up here and spams from this nice fucking gnarly position. Look at that. They can't escape him. And then if they try to run away, your soldier just bombs and chases. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, so that's if your sniper gets the sniper pick on hill. And just instantly try to get that done. Now, because you're kind of relying on that sniper pick, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to go for the side tunnel push first. The thing about this side tunnel push is, even though hill has a significantly better post-uber position, it's more difficult to get into because you have to deal with the sniper first, right? Side tunnel is kind of the opposite problem. You can always get into a good, but then it's very hard to be in a reasonable post-uber position. So all that's going to happen is the same thing. Demo, pyro. Demo comes out over here, look for their combo, try to trade Ubers, and then shoot anyone that isn't Ubered, then shoot the gun. The problem is what happens after that. If you haven't gotten a million damage on their players that aren't Ubered, and they just kind of kited you fairly easily, you're going to realize that you're really stuffed in this choke point, and this is going to be very difficult for you to walk out. So you're going to be forced to back out, upon which you're like, now you have no Uber, you can't force your way through this side tunnel choke point. Now what? Well, you have two options. Do you want to spend your time during this downtime forcing your way on cart, like put your heavy on this, get your demo out here, try to spam them? Don't recommend. Kind of difficult to do, really difficult to brute force your way through here. Or do you want to try to monger your way through hill? This is the better option, even though now you're trying to walk through a sniper. It's actually a little better, because now if you do manage to break through the sniper, they don't have the safety net of an Uber to deal with you now that once their sniper misses the shot. So yeah, on downtime, when they don't have Uber on defense and you don't have Uber, now trying to brute force your way through hill, much more reasonable. Just come over here, bait a shot from their sniper, try to like disrespect him a little bit, knock him off, whatever you can do, and then make your way up here and try to just take a straight dry push. It's really up to DM at that point. Make sure you're shooting the same people, call your focuses, don't let the gun shred you, basic stuff, but that's pretty much it. Just side tunnel is an easy thing to do consistently without needing much setup. An Uber push on hill requires their sniper dying first, and then hill is a good place to take your dry fight, as long as you can knock that sniper off. Alright, that's pretty much the gist of that. Any questions?
Yeah, would spy priority still be medic here, or should we prioritize the sniper so that we can push hill?
The higher the div, the higher the sniper pick priority.
Okay.
Otherwise, I mean, if they don't have an Uber, like, you just kill the medic, just walk in, yeah, it's pretty cool. Sapping gun, in my opinion, though, honestly, don't even, like, don't bother with the pick. Just wait until your team calls that they're pushing and sap the gun. And this applies on most defenses, sorry, on most offenses, on most payload maps. Just sap the gun. It's pretty good.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So as you said, like on the first point, like once we get past the first point, Pyle's just gonna stick with the combo at that point.
Yeah.
Pretty
The
much.
only exception is that if your sniper's coming over here taking this SVS alone and
And
your
just,
combo isn't helping,
just protect him from the spy at that
yeah,
point.
you just need to sit on top of him, because your combo and, like, you guys have 7 people in this tunnel. This spy should not get anything done with literally 7 people here.
Alright.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
Alright. You guys should be asking questions, because I kind of made it sound much simpler than it actually is by necessity, so make sure you're asking questions.
Any good mini spots?
Just drop it. Like, in the back of tunnel, over here, so that it catches people coming over there. I mean, it's a mini. What else are you going to do? Like, just
Okay, thanks.
come out over here, drop it when their gun's down, you have the forward position. I don't know. You shouldn't be worried more about, like, you should be less worried about your mini than you should be worried about your ability to find an opportunity to go forward and fight with your team. Like, it's not going to happen very often, but when it does, like, an extra gun in a fight is always helpful.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I wasn't here for the first part. Offense on first. Would you recommend the med walk out pretty quickly or wait a little bit?
If they're forward holding, your team should Uber into them pretty quickly without any fuss. If they're passive holding, you do not need to commit an Uber at all. Just stay in spawn and let your team deal with it.
Cool, thank you.
Any more questions?
You have Disad pushing second. Should you still try to do a sack?
You should not push. You might try to sack, but the sacking angles are a little rough. The only reasonable one is out through main here. And then if you fuck this up, you just get skyboxed by the gun, or you just get utterly denied by the pyro where the heavy shreds you before you make it. It's a little inconsistent. I prefer working sniper for a pick. I don't really like sacking on second offense. I've seen some other teams do it. I'm not going to say don't do it, but I found more consistency and more success by just, like, relaxing and building the second Uber and working your sniper while you're waiting. Any more questions?
How should Pyro on defense be playing this point?
From this
Or-
position, roughly. Do
Okay.
not. This is a very important thing for most people to understand, is that you should never hug the wall, and this applies to most classes. You should never hug the wall when you're not getting like healed by the dispenser or getting ammo from it or anything, because you just don't see anything. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if something's pushing hill. You don't know if a bomb's coming in. You're blind, and that kills you. You need to be backed off a little bit, so you can kind of peek that. You can rotate around, see like, is there something going on hill? Are we clear? Do we have time to react to a bomb? Shit like that. So do not hug walls. You need to be backed off a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
And more questions. We still have a bit more time on second. It's very important to get second right.
Is this a Tomislav kind of map or a stock kind of map?
In my opinion, it's a stock kind of map. There's a lot of close quarter fights that you can take as a heavy. That said, there is one instance that Tomislav is notably superior. Only one that I would like to say, but I'll mention that in a second. Where should med stay in defense if not hugging the wall? You can do the same thing. You can kind of play a little further out. Because then, yeah, you still have vision of what's going on. Or you can hug the dispenser, your choice, but generally speaking, just kind of like out here. And then you can come in when...
Blair, I have a question. Is it true that you build Uber slower when you're inside a dispenser? I mean,
Yes,
the dispenser is
it's true.
Oh,
half
okay.
half as slow. Sorry, half as fast. So this is like good advice in general. It doesn't have much to do with vigil. No one should be making a habit out of instantly standing on top of dispensers and waiting there. No one. Only go to the dispenser if you need ammo, and then get away from it as soon as you have the ammo, because your medic is going to try to heal you, and your medic is going to build like shit. And then you guys are going to wonder, why do we have disad? How did they push in faster than it's because you sat on the dispenser, you idiot.
Okay, thanks for explaining this to me.
Alright. No more questions? Second offense? Alright, we're moving on to third. Third, defense. This is a fun one. I have my own offbeat, quirky ideas about third defense, but here's what the meta is. For the most part. So, dispenser just goes in the corner. It's the same thing as second. There's really nowhere else to put it that's even halfway useful. And then your gun has a couple spots depending on what you feel like doing. Some people put this. This has officially become awful. Like, no one considers this useful now, but you might still see this here and there in lower divs. This tends to be the most common spot. Just come in, have it put out over here on the back of tracks. And then this is another one that you'll see occasionally, which is up on these crates over here. And that's not bad at all. It just takes a bit more time and effort to set up and keep up. But, you know, it's okay. Alright, so...
the spot right next to the dispenser, that little window area.
Come again?
Usually, can you hear me? Sorry, it's my...
You're just soft.
So that little... You see that little windowed area there? So usually what I do is I put it like right next to it, like the little spot on the left. Or, I'm sorry, right. The sentry, yeah, like the little corner right there. Is that...
No, that's not good at all.
Okay.
It's gonna get corner spammed and it's not gonna have a chance.
Yeah,
to stay
like
up at all.
every time I put it there, it just
yeah,
dies,
and like so on that note, it's very important for you to understand like the reason sentries work in Highlander at all. It's not because you want to put it with your combo. The entire reason for sentries is to play separate from your combo and generally behind your combo. So your combo, when they're taking a fight and they're losing it, they can back up and have an aimbot watching their back. So you do not want it inside them. You do not want it forward, taking aggressive positioning. You want it protecting your team's ass.
Yeah, some people have told me to put it there where I said, and I'm just like every time.
Tell them they're actual Mongolians with passports and
like,
everything.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me either. So.
All right. Well, that's the dispenser. That's the gun. No teleporters. Who needs that shit? All right. So the basics of this is pretty much you guys are just gonna have everyone clustered around this position and spamming around this corner. There are a couple exceptions here and there that's possible to change around, but it pretty much is it. Your sniper just needs to play back a little bit. Very important note, by the way, your sniper. I talked about this on some other maps, I think. Upward, yeah. Talked about that on Upward. You should never be hugging the wall over here and like trying to snipe, because what happens often is a spy will decloak where your team can't call it out, round the corner, and then kill you before anyone has a chance to either call it out to you or a pyro to come over and save you. You should always be playing closer to your combo, where a spy has to cross a lot more open ground. People can kind of spot him out. Spy decloaks over here. You're actually able to either react to the spy call or have your team kill them before the spy gets the kill. So yeah, do not hug walls. And you're going to notice a general trend is hugging walls equals bad in the TF2s. But yeah, play out over here. All you need to do as a sniper is just kind of control that angle. Don't let them get wood. When that's all safe and done, fine and dandy, you have that controlled. You can kind of get out a little more aggressive if you want to, but generally speaking, just kind of controlling this is pretty standard. You don't want to let them have this angle as a sniper. And then your demo and your heavy, been playing around this corner generally. Your heavy gets to actually stand directly on the corner because he gets to corner peek this like this, nice and slow, and then he gets to use this as a lot of cover, jump back when he's eating a lot of shit. Pretty cool. As a demo, you're generally going to actually take this from the lower position, kind of peek like that, and you can kind of duck back in and out of cover as you need to. A quick extra note about this is a heavy. If you have the time, you have the opportunity, you have the space to do it, you don't actually want to stay here permanently. Even though there's a fairly good position, there's a better one. And this ties back into the thing someone's asked about Tomislav or minigun. You have your heavy come over here, plays in this corner, and now he can watch cart, watch over secret, and get arrow tanked by medic over there. There's nothing. They can't really spam a heavy out if the heavy's playing in this position. They actually have to commit fairly deep in order to get into this heavy. And then when they're taking an Uber, if they don't deal with this heavy over here, the heavy just peeks, kills everyone in the back who's trying to push cart while the Uber's going on, because they're like, I need to kill the gun, and your heavy just cleans up in the back here. So it's pretty cool. Plus your heavy, if your flank is having trouble fighting over rocks there, your heavy's like, I'm a head glitch over here, and that's pretty cool. You guys get some fun times. So nice and strong position for heavy to play. It's just you're a little more heal independent when you're doing that. So be careful. You need to value your life. And to come to that Tomislav versus minigun thing, the reason this is better on Tomislav is because without the spin up sound, they're not going to know whether or not they have to check this. And that's literally why Tomislav works on this point. Not because it's like more accurate or less damaging, whatever. It's just the silent spin here is actually fucking nuts, and only in this position. All right. Yeah, flank, scout and soldier. You guys are pretty much just fighting over the rocks angle over here through flank. You don't need to actively aggress, you just need to control this, not let anyone push through for free. You can come over here, check what's going on, spam, control their sniper if you need to, push all the way through to get stupid kills if you really feel like it, but generally speaking, you just need to not let them come through rocks for free. And when they're trying to fight cart, if they're trying to just barrel through tracks like most people do, you can kind of come over here and fight from this position, kill the mini sentry, let your soldier deal with that, and then fight from high ground and not let them get this. So while your combo's fighting from that position, you're fighting from here, and you get to shoot car from 2 angles. Pretty cool, pretty nice. All right, that is pretty much the basics of everyone's positioning. Ubers are really simple. Like I said, it's the basics. You just need to not die, and you just need to come in and not let them get the cap. The important thing to note is that you really need to be fighting over not letting them get the cart up this little ramp slide here. Because the moment they get up this ramp slide, they can just spy cap, they can buff a pyro to 260, and then just cap it right here. It's right there. Look at how close you guys are to the point when you're holding. You're not actually able to like deny them from this successfully. So a lot more of this hold is not about like stopping them from capping per se. It's about not even letting them get it up this ramp, and that's very important because once they get it up the ramp, that is where you lose this 3rd point. So 9 times out of 10, it's better for you to play a little more aggressive, control them, don't let them actually peek around this corner. Don't think of it as like I'm hiding behind this corner and I'm gonna wait until they push the cart, because you don't even want to let them push the cart at all. You have to play fairly aggressively, even though it seems like a really far back position. So a lot of it essentially comes down to you need to know your class and the limits of your individual DM and what your class can do in a certain situation, because there isn't much that you can do to make up for your own ability to take a fight and to know what's going on and read the game. On 3rd, you really need to be quite on the ball with the stuff. You need to be able to read it as it's happening. So unlike on 2nd, where you can pretty much just play on your position and just not die and they can't do much, 3rd is a little more active. You need to be peeking, you need to be taking fights and stuffing them where you can. Always remember, call sniper, do not die to sniper. When you die to the sniper, you lose players that is incredibly important for the defense, and then they just walk in and they start the cap. So yeah, Call out their snipers, spy, especially you just get on their sniper's ass while their blue sniper's trying to get anywhere. Pretty cool. Pretty nice stuff. Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, as soon as Cart gets up that little ramp, should the entire team just pull back to last?
You really should be ready to back out instantly, yeah. It's
Got
not
it.
worth trying to hold that too long unless you know something. Like, you know how you can set yourself back up. And I can't teach you what that is, because that looks different every game. So
Shotgun or Rescue Ranger?
I recommend shotgun 90% of the time nowadays. Rescue
Okay.
Ranger just isn't as good ever since they nerfed the Wrangler's ability to get healed.
What's your opinion on the panic attack?
Do not like it.
Okay.
Why though?
I just don't.
The random.
I'm not getting into it.
In
Oh,
competitive.
okay.
Well, that's technically a buff because, you know, but either way.
Yeah.
The big thing about the panic attack is that even though you can kill things within your range better, people don't get in your range. Especially not if you're an NG. Maybe if you're a pyro, but then if you're a pyro, you're probably also air blasting them away, so why are you using the panic attack? For the switch speed? I don't know. Just, you have a degreaser. Do you really need that much more switch speed? There's only one pyro in Invite who uses it, and I think he uses it successfully because he's a good pyro, not because the panic attack is good. And that's Hard Ass Johnny. I think he's definitely an outlier. No one else in Invite considers it worth their time. They'd rather just run the shotgun. The bigger spread is not fun to deal with.
I was talking about on engineer.
But yeah, on engineer, you really just run a shotgun. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
For heavy, hiding in that corner that you said to Tomislav, if a flank member finds you, like on the other team, should I just go back to the first position, or should I just stay there?
If a flank member finds you, this depends on whether or not you have your flank still here backing you up. Because if you do, then you don't need to back up. You can just kind of play around the health pack, get arrows, and they've got your back. They're not going to let them kill you. If you're alone, your flank is dead, and they're trying to push through this, you can't take this fight alone. Because even if you try to head glitch over there, they can corner peek you more effectively than you can head glitch. So you need to cut your losses, pull out your Fist of Steel, and back the fuck out. And wait for your flank to respawn.
Alright.
More questions?
Oh, I already saw a lot of heavies coming to the flank side, like right where you were aiming. A little bit to the left.
Sorry. The underpass?
Yeah.
Is pretty stupid.
Alright.
So
just to confirm that.
Yeah, this is not an angle you take for a push. I'll talk about that on offense. This has one good use for offense, but it's very specific and it needs to be played by ear. So yeah. All right, Albert asks, is there any specific reason why the dispenser is all the way to the corner and not in the middle of the window so it's easy to reach for ammo? Spies. That's why.
Oh really? So placing the dispenser back there kind of fucks spice?
Yeah, it's literally just so that your medic can stand inside the dispenser with the back to a corner and nothing can happen. It's like, you have a corner, you might as well use it. There's no, like, other significantly better reason. But it's just an extra slight optimization that helps.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing that's a good place to sit as engineer when you're holding.
Now, as an engineer, you should be out here with your gun.
Okay.
Because the spy's going to go for your gun and not for, like...
Okay.
I mean, if you're not here defending your gun, the spy's going to sap it, gun
yeah.
it down, and yeah, you don't have a gun. Yeah. Any more questions?
In order to brigade the dispenser faster, should I be using that big ammo pack and cross the sniper sideline, or should I just go back to spawn?
Go back to spawn. It's right there.
Okay.
I was just going to be protecting medic from the standard position, like where the dispenser...
You've got a wider range as a pyro. You do need to be covering the medic here. Then you also need to come, like, quickly duck in this way, check this corner, check around here so that the spy doesn't get in for free on top of your gun, and then also just, like, give a quick
Also,
puff in
like,
this
watch
direction.
the sniper. Also, just gotta
Yeah.
watch these, like, watch the sniper's back.
Yeah, because
as
your
well.
sniper's playing over here. He needs to be alive and doing this shit. So yeah, you've got a
Alright.
wider range than...
I gotcha.
Yeah. More questions?
Where's demo playing again? I wasn't here for that part.
Take heals, play around this corner, take fights.
Okay, thank you.
This might be kind of a silly question, but would you recommend stock wrench or jag more? I noticed you use.
Oh, I was
Jag,
about
but
to ask that actually.
This is just because I can build my gun in this review faster and shit like that. But jag while you're building, wrench while you're holding, in my opinion. But I am also not an NG main, and I know NG mains still debate this question to this day. Feel free to ask an actual NG main, like at Exa in our, like just DM Exa with your petty NG questions. He's very busy with actual Highlander adminning, but make sure that he's also, you know, inundated with questions about the Jag.
Hammock once said that I should be using the Reek effect.
Who is that? What? Who?
Hammock.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a European NG.
Yeah.
Okay, that explains everything.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. There's only one person. There's only one engineer in the game that I would trust with the Eureka effect, and that is Spamfest. And Spamfest is a goddamn genius, and I don't know how she does it, so unless you're a goddamn genius, don't try it.
Europeans cringe.
Europeans.
They drive on the left side of the road, don't listen to them.
Yeah, they whack.
No, they don't really. It's Britain that does that.
British?
British?
That's all of you.
Alright, more questions. 3, 2, 1. We're on to offense. Okay, so in a nice reverse image of second, remember when I talked about second defense being really simple? Just hold your spot, don't die, and you're pretty good. And then offense has a couple like little twists. This is the opposite. Defense is complicated, lots of little twists and turns. Offense is simple as shit. You literally, 9 times out of 10, just need to bring almost all your players over here and brute force your cart time. It's almost always that simple. Just keep your players alive, don't drop your medic, don't bleed stupidly, obviously, but it really is 9 out of 10 times that simple. Because if they're hiding behind the corner, look at how close the cart can be capped before they can even start shooting you. So 9 times out of 10, just bring your combo over here, shoot them off the cart, shoot them off the corner, make sure you're just quickly checking to make sure that doesn't happen, obviously. With the heavy over in there in that corner, half the time you can even almost reasonably well ignore their flank over on rocks and like don't even worry about them. If they're much closer taking a fight with you, then yeah, you do have to shoot them, but pretty much it. And yeah, I mean, it really is that simple. Just like come over here, heal your players on cart, barrel through, have your heavy in your demo, cover them while they're capping, and eventually they're gonna have to either use onto cart to stop you from capping, or you lose players and you're like, fuck it, we'll just try again in 10 seconds. Who gives a shit? And it's like, yeah, it's fucking it. So a couple optimizations that really help is bring your sniper over here to these stairs. A lot of snipers used to go over to wood and play from that long angle. The reason I don't recommend that now is because if you have your sniper come over here and take a buff first, your sniper comes in here, takes pretty much the same angle, just a lot, and you can kind of go wider as you need. Just make sure you're watching for spies, because a lot of spies can decloak in this corner and go straight for your sniper while you guys are kind of like sitting over here a little too distracted. So yeah, just make sure your pyro's giving that a check real quick here and there. Also, some spies are really cool and they'll decloak over here and then go the long way. They're too cool for me. I don't get it. I don't get how someone's sunglasses can be so dark. As for the flank, I mean, you really don't need to do flank things even. You're welcome to. If you really want to, a soldier that goes all the way through rocks, wins the fight, and then spams the gun with a direct hit isn't, like, he's more useful than not. Also, remember, like, you can just barrel hard. I mean, it's so simple. Alright, when it comes to the Uber, I've found it's actually so much easier. Instead of ever bringing your demo in on the Uber, this is the one time you take a heavy pyro Uber on offense fairly consistently. Your heavy just gets all this space for free. He jumps around this corner, and then they're all in his face. And it's just the freest heavy Uber you've seen in your life. And the pyro does the same thing. You just kind of have him like air blast their pyro back, so your heavy gets all the space in the world. Or, something my Inquisition generally does is instead of even coming in on the Uber, he lets the heavy solo it. My pyro will actually just jump on the car and just push. Because again, look, it's just right there. Just cap it. Holy shit, it's that simple. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It's fucking simple-ass offense. One final thing, because someone asked about the underpass, and I want to talk about what I find useful in the underpass. is if you guys are choosing to take like an Uber trade, for some reason their Uber is better, or they know how to hold this better than you do, you send a heavy underpass, and you have your heavy play from underpass for post Uber. So your demo and your pyro comes in, trades Uber, and your heavy jumps up here, and then when their Uber fades, because they're going to be playing out wide and they're trying to kill you guys, your heavy is over here shooting them, and they don't have an easy way to back out before your heavy utterly demolishes them. So that's one of the best uses of underpass that I've found so far. But that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Third offense. Any questions?
Yes. Where? Oh, okay. You go first. No, you go first.
Tally and dispenser spots on offense.
And just drop the dispenser around this corner over here. You can have it. You can have it in this side if you want to be extra fancy, so they're hiding behind the corner. But most of the time, you just like this right here is fine. Just over here.
Okay.
And you can have a telly. Just have it like spawn over there. Have it come over there. Anywhere as long as they just show up to this general area is fine.
Okay.
And it's not like not having a telly matters that much because you do just spawn right there. So. Yeah.
Where should engineer be playing? Like, should he
get card time?
Okay.
Just get card time. I mean, this is, like I said, it's the simplest push on Earth compared to every other push on any other payload map. Just get on it. This is it.
Defense definitely seems like they have a harder time on this point.
They have a much harder time, and that's why you'll see a lot of teams try not to hard hold third too much. Some teams have better success based on how well they're able to take their fights, which is why I got that big qualifier. You need to know how to take your fights on third defense. Otherwise, yeah, there's no way to outsmart on this third defense. But yeah, offense, just get caught.
You're saying that this push is really easy. So should I be using Wrangler or pistol as an engineer?
Doesn't matter that much, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. So the Wrangler on when it comes to offenses, and using the mini sentry on payload offense, half the time you're not even going to be playing with your mini sentry. You're going to drop a mini sentry, let it shoot what it does, and then you jump on the cart and let your mini sentry aimball while all that's happening. And like, why would you bother wrangling it, or why would you even bother using the pistol? You should use your shotgun. It's better, you know. But yeah, it doesn't really matter that much.
So in that
you
situation,
should be.
So in my opinion, at least in my opinion, that situation that you said, it's a little bit more useful to use the pistols, because if you run out of bullets with your shotgun and you need to kill someone, then you can just switch to your pistol.
I'm gonna be honest. If you're running out of ammo with your shotgun, then you're taking a fight and you're probably dead because you're just a puny little engineer. So it really doesn't matter. It's like brutal honesty. But yeah.
As well too, so you really shouldn't be out of ammo.
Well, I'm bad.
Yeah, like your secondary basically doesn't matter at all. Drop the mini sentry, let it cover stuff, and just do your cart time. Shoot things with your shotgun. All right, we only have 5 minutes left before 9:30 scrims. Some of you are going to stay longer, some of you aren't. But for the people that aren't, I'm going to skip over everything else and move on to last defense because this is kind of important. All right, so last defense. You have heard it said from the old holds, and everyone's like, oh, we're going to hold here in this corner, we're going to fight aggressive. But now you shall hear it said from the new man who's really cool and really handsome. You're going to put your dispenser over here, here actually, so it doesn't get spammed. And then you're going to put your gun, God, give me some fucking ammo. You're going to put your gun up on this little box up here. And this is now where your combo holds. Everyone's just going to sit over here, and this is the... That's a spot. It's pretty
clever
cool.
spot.
Okay. So this is how this hold works. You've got the bulk of your combo, demo, pyromedic, all holding over here, just kind of taking fights and spamming cart from this position. Your flank has a new member. Your flank has a member in the heavy. Your heavy is now going to come up over here, hug this, and your heavy just needs to play from this position. Your heavy can get arrowed, whatever the fuck. Who gives a shit? You're a heavy. No one likes you. No one cares about you. Go kill yourself. I'm kidding. I like you. But
what the fuck?
But yeah, just yeah, your scout and your soldier are going to be playing on flank as usual. Your job as a scout and soldier is control this position. But your sniper is going to come over here, play flank, and your sniper can get buffed by the medic sitting over here around the dispenser, and he can just take the SVSs from this position, hold all this stuff. They don't get to walk out of red room. They don't get to walk through cart and get cart time for free. And your heavy just sits right here, no stabs on the heavy. Look, it's the perfect corner. It's never happening. It's just not happening. And your heavy just sits and watches your sniper, and your sniper never gets stabbed. You don't even need to do anything else as a sniper. You can just sit right here. Sorry, as a heavy. Just sit right here, look at your sniper, and that's it. Your hold is won. It's perfect. It's never being broken. It's beautiful. If they are pushing cart, and like if they're trying to walk through there, then you can kind of like just walk over and try to take a fight, or peek around this corner, shoot cart. But generally speaking, it's like, yeah, just whatever. I'm doing nothing. Sit over here, watch my sniper. Ya ta 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 ya ta 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 ta. Get it? It's pretty cool. Yep. Nothing else. All right. So yeah, it is pretty much just everyone around here. Combo on the low ground here, and flank on the high ground, along with the heavy and the sniper over here watching this angle. So, this is pretty much just the same rules as second. Don't die. Don't bleed. Don't let them get card time. Yeah, that's it. So, I want to go over really quick why this works. So, unlike what people used to do, where they put their dispenser in the corner there and they'd have their players out here in this aggressive position try to fight, you don't need to expose yourself to any risk whatsoever. Your gun is wrangled. It can take over a really long position, and if they try to Uber through the old methods, they try to Uber through this red room, they have to cross so much ground just to get to the gun, and on top of that, they have to cross even more ground in order to get to the combo. And even then, the combo, when they spot the push happening, you guys can just back up and like just walk into spawn, and you're perfectly safe, and nothing will ever get to you. So the only thing you have to worry about is an Uber through flank, and this has its own problems too. So this is just a better hold in pretty much every scenario. So this is why you're going to hold on to this position now. Just get your gun up here, just get your dispenser over there, and just have this gun wrangled like 90% of the time. Just control that pretty much. I don't really need to tell you too much about the hold, because it is really that simple. Just a couple nice things to note is if they do take the Uber straight through tracks, they're trying to force cart time, and your flank is left with nothing to do, your flank should be pushing straight through, out over here, and start fighting cart from behind. Because your combo's taking a fight in that position, you guys can just loop around, destroy their cart pushers, and then because you're pinching from behind, their combo, if they win or lose the fight, they can't back out now. They have to walk into a heavy, a soldier, a scout, all walking from behind, so it's pretty fun. That's what you want to do. All right, any questions about last defense? I know, it's a lot simpler than the old one. It's going to be like, just like that.
Why do you hate heavy?
What?
Why do you hate heavies?
Because he ate my sandwich.
That's fucked up, man.
He ate my sandwich.
My bad.
Like, it was labeled, it was in the company fridge. It's like, don't touch my sandwich, and motherfucker just came over and stole it. It's not nice.
How should
Any more
Pyro
questions?
play it out a lot on defense? Because obviously like he's gonna be sticking with the combo, or is he going to try to help with the like up top with the heavy spy check?
Just stick with the combo. The only thing you need to worry about flank wise is if they're when their demo comes over here and starts spamming, and you can just kind of sit over here, use the dispenser for ammo, and air blast it off. But generally just spy check around here. Spies will decloak by spawn, hoping around. Spies will decloak behind this crate, trying to think they're cute. Spies will be even funnier, and they'll decloak on this corner while the heavy's not looking, and they'll jump in for a stab. And they think they're so fucking cool. I've never seen a cooler person in my entire life.
Alright.
Also, they decloak around here, and they'll try to round the corner for a really stupid stab.
Of course.
Yeah, so, yep. More questions?
How should flank be playing on defense?
Just here. Just control this angle. You don't really need to do much else. Don't let them walk in for free when their combo does come in. I didn't talk about what to do when they Uber in through the flank, but it really is just as simple as they're going to have to use first, and you guys just kind of spread out and don't die, and then just kill them. Like, it seems more complicated, but it isn't. Just Uber later than them, and don't let them cap. Like, it really is just that simple.
Don't soldiers like to sit outside on top of that wall right outside the
They do. Just don't peek them. Like, that's all.
Gotcha.
Like, what is he doing? If he's not pushing you and trying to knock you off, and you're just sitting up here spamming, like, that's a useless blue soldier right there.
If they Uber in through the flank, should our Pyro just walk around and just deny their Uber, or should we just let them walk in a little bit and then deny?
You just need to back away if they Uber straight through, because what's going to happen is if you round this corner, they can't actually do anything more with their Uber, and they have to commit all the way through. They're going to have to bring their heavy, their demo all the way up against this position, upon which your Pyro just needs to, like, round the corner again, air blast them off, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Or they get 100 damage on you, but you guys are rounding the corner, and then your Pyro takes the Uber, stuffs them, your demo can, like, come over here, carpet stickies while he's shiny, and then everyone else who can't be in the Uber Spawn's right here. Just go get healed. You have no excuse to be hurt for post-Uber. It's right there. Just go.
That's true.
You know?
Should we peek beyond where the sentry is for denying Red Room?
As a combo, I mean, you don't need to deny Red Room whatsoever. Your sniper should be alive and should be able to take these fights. As a demo, you can come over here and just kind of like carpet stickies if your sniper's dead and just not have anyone peek Red Room. But generally speaking, the thing about this is you can more or less let them have that aggressive position because they're still going to have to deal with the problem of how do we push because there's too much ground to cover.
Okay.
So, like, the only really useful, successful push comes through flank, and then my own little stupid push that I'm not really going to talk about because of my little trade secret where you come through big door, but that's me. I'm a dirty little idiot, so.
Oh.
Any more questions?
Why is that spot for the sentry better than the one on the crate to the left of it?
Why else? You're closer to your team, they can actually help you.
Okay.
I mean, otherwise, what are you willing to do? You want to cross the sniper sight line and play alone? I didn't think so.
It's a wider angle too.
But yeah, you're just gonna like over here, drop it. I guess the big thing that you can do on the crates that you can't do here is build it just by jumping, because you can't really do it on this. Look at that. Not possible. No can do, senor. It's not possible for me.
Your computer has virus.
But yeah, no more questions about this? It really is that simple. It really simplified a lot of the problems of the old hold from the corner. Just back everyone out over here. Pretty neat. So yeah, if no one's got questions, we're just going to move on to offense, and it'll be the last thing we need to talk about on Vigil. Should you even bother with the telly on last? Really, no. Like, where's it going to go? It's not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. The best thing you can hope for is to have a telly exit left over from when you're holding a different point. And you're just like, hey guys, I still have a telly behind them. And you just drop it and you're like, hey guys. Spy want to take telly? And that's all. And goddamn, I really got people bootlegging my map reviews here in the chat. I'm gonna fucking show up and see my feature film map review on the Pirate Bay with an unregistered Bandicam header, you know? Really do be like that. Alright. Looks like there's no more questions. Talk about offense. So. For the rest of you that have stayed, this is going to have to be essentially a two-parter on the offense, because I'm going to have to teach you how to deal with both the standard hold, well, quote-unquote standard, the old hold where everyone sits in the corner, because this is probably what you're going to be going up against if you're playing in the lower divs. This is probably what people still know to do. They're probably going to do this, and so you need to know how to push against this. And I need to teach you how to deal with this, because this is the proper hold, which people should actually do, and if you don't know how to push against this, you're just kind of fucked, so... Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna need to teach you to push twice on this. The name of the game in both counts is pretty much you need to work your sniper into a strong angle. If you don't have a sniper into a good angle, you're going to be fucked. The difference is where you work your sniper in and how you get him in, and then what you do after. So, for the most part, it is really simple. You're just gonna have your cart just pushed all the way through. You should be able to get it to up about here fairly consistently without eating too much shit. Your telly just goes over here. Most NGs put the telly either up here, like just right here, where everyone can see anyone taking the telly, or my NG likes to put it in that corner in the room over there. It just takes a bit of time away. And you're just going to put a dispenser around this corner so that your team can duck back in and heal up while they're waiting. So, get cart time, wait for Uber, and then how do you take your push on this? So, let's talk about how do you push first against the corner. The old hold in the corner. It is pretty much fairly simple. You need to get your sniper into a strong position through big door. Have your sniper sit over here on big door and have him lock this long angle. So your sniper can play this pretty tight. Have him like take an SVS over here first. And once that's clear or there's no sniper, just have him come over here. It's important to note that your sniper does not actually need to engage with the sentry. If the sentry's on crates, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? Your sniper needs to be locking off this long angle because you want to cut off anyone coming from that corner running to spawn. Anyone that's vulnerable, don't let them get there for free. And then once the post-uber happens, they're going to be trying to sit in this whole sight line over here to deal with cart or deal with your combo that's still sitting over there. Your sniper needs to be sitting here ready for this. So this is why you put your sniper in big door. Alternatively, if you can't put your sniper here consistently on big door, Trax is an alternative that accomplishes pretty much the same thing. It's just that your sniper does have to deal with this first and then maybe kind of peek wider and then go for this angle. So just as a TLDR, anything that makes your sniper watch this long angle over here up through these stairs, that's where you put him and that's where you have him watch. So how do you take the Uber? You take the Uber as you do with any Uber. It's pretty standard. There isn't really a significant problem with taking the Uber here. You just need to come over here, trade it out around this corner, shoot anyone in the back that isn't Ubered. As mentioned, your pyro stuffs them back, and then you focus the gun. If it's on crates over here, if it's over here, wherever the fuck the gun happens to be, just make sure it's shot down. Everyone else needs to be healthy and not dying while this Uber is happening, so. Yep. It's really simple. There's not much to it. You just need to make sure you execute it correctly and that your sniper's in a good position so you can secure your space while it's happening. Meanwhile, your flank is still working their way through this flank fight over here. Your flank will have some trouble because even in this old hold, a lot of teams do still bring their heavies over here to this flank and they do still put their sniper up here. So you'll see kind of like this version of the flank hold even without a combo over here. So this can still be dangerous, in which case your flank should just kind of like lock this down, and then whenever available, your flank can just kind of come over here. I recommend, most importantly, when this... words. Most important is that you need this gun down during this hold. The reason being, what you really need to happen is for your flank to be able to just kind of storm straight through and come in and clean up the push and just run in and start killing everything that is holding. Because you want to essentially force them to sit back in spawn and hide and be little bitch asses, and for them to also kind of hide behind this corner without an Uber to be able to push back in. So when the gun goes down, this is kind of your key to being able to get into this last hold. Just have everyone run in and take fights, and that's all you need to do. Alright, so that's when they're holding around the corner. It really is that simple. Just kind of Ubers through red room. Some teams Uber through big door for the same effect. Yeah, it's that simple. Alright, so what to do if they're doing the new hold when they're doing the hold over here behind this corner? Well, there isn't any two ways about it. There is only one way to deal with this. You have to Uber through the flank somehow. You have to make your way through here. The question is, how do you get the picks that you need while that's happening? So here's what I like to do. I will bring my sniper all the way around through the cliffside so that no one spots, and then I'll have my sniper slow peek this. So you get the opening pick, preferably on the heavy. The heavy is the juiciest pick, but if you can't find the heavy because there's a soldier and a scout this down like they should be, just get the first kill you can. And then, you know, if your sniper just hits 150 body shot in first person, your flank should be ready around here. Just run at them, get the kill. Just, like, get any opening you can. Meanwhile, your your combo is also going to be running around over here, and your combo is going to try to brute force their way through with an Uber. And very important, what's going to happen during this Uber is, preferably, your demo doesn't immediately commit. You should be sitting at the back, or just kind of like come through around over here, and just try to spam stickies. And so you're going to arc and just like air death them around this corner, because a lot of people are going to be sitting right here trying to take a fight with you. Your goal is to force them to duck back, and force them to give up a lot of space. Now, when that happens, and they're ducking away, and you're no longer hitting a shit ton of damage, that's when you're ready to take your Uber forward. Now, important, heavy does not come in on this Uber. Heavy does not do anything here. Remember, because smart players, when they see an Uber over here, they're just going to go back to spawn. They don't need to bother. You are probably, when you come in and you trade this Uber, you're probably not going to find anyone that you can shoot in the back. It's probably not going to happen. There's just, look, they can go back to spawn. They're just not going to risk it. So, yeah, you come out as a demo, you trade Ubers, and then you immediately go straight for the gun. Because once this gun goes down, that's when your players can just kind of start getting card time while that's happening. As a heavy, you should be going with your flank over here, through this way. Preferably heavy soldier. This is the ideal position. Heavy soldier, you guys are going to come over here while that Uber's happening, and you guys are going to work your way over into this long angle. You want to pincer them, and you want to prevent them from getting out of spawn consistently and easily. And your soldier's here to give you backup as a heavy. You guys are just going to try to break your way through here. 9 times out of 10, your spy should not go for a pick. He should go for the sap on this push. So your spy can just kind of wait around here. And then once the push comes through, you just kind of jump up, sap the gun, round this corner, shoot the NG with the revolver. You get the idea. You really should just sap the gun because this gun needs to fucking go down while this happens. So that is pretty much the gist of it. The Uber trade, in terms of like the Uber counts, who gets Ubered, is always going to be worse for blue. But you're going to hope that you're going to get the gun down and that your heavy and your soldier get enough to the flank here in order to have a slightly better post Uber. And that is pretty much that. Meanwhile, your sniper, because your sniper was back here earlier, your sniper tried to get the opening pick over here. Now that this isn't a possibility, because you guys are all fighting over there and that's just too close for a sniper, comes over here, fights big door instead. Watch and cover the cart. NG should be with the sniper, and when this is all said and done, your sniper and your NG both get on the cart. That sentry gun should be down by then. You guys start cart time, and then you can have your scout also run around over here and start helping cart. Alright, that is really pretty much about it. There's a lot of moving parts to that push, but any questions?
Will Pyro have to stick around with the Uber push to try and help with the sentry, or are they going to try to stick with the heavy and the soldier at any point?
You should stick with your demo and just not let him get air blasted away.
Gotcha.
Probably you won't even need to do that because your demo will like try to round this corner and then just get completely denied. In which case, if you see your demo is getting absolutely fucking cucked, I say just tell your medic to Uber you. You jump around the corner and then you like force their medic. And then you hope to God that you can get away. Because
oh man,
you need that Uber trade, man. That Uber has to be traded. If it doesn't get traded, like I don't know, there's no hope for you guys in this push.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Otherwise, I mean, you like force the Uber, and then maybe you also get away out in this direction. Maybe, you know. But yeah, the Uber has to be traded, and the gun has to go down, and that really is it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm asking a lot of Pyro questions just because I might be subbing for a team for this, so...
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, any questions is pretty much it, after all.
For a scout, do you want to, like, for the second method of pushing on offense, should you go on cart or should you go with the heavy and soldier in
Play
coffee?
close, chase damage until your combo actually shows up and starts taking the push. Once your combo's here... Remember, you don't want to be near your combo. They're taking combo damage, but they're also taking combo heals. If you come over here and eat the same amount of damage your combo does, you're not getting combos heals. You're just dead. Or you're too hurt and you're worthless. So just come over here, chase a kill if your soldier or your sniper hits 150. And then once that's done, your combo's here, just like, okay, I guess I don't need to be here. Come over here, grab a pack, grab this pack, whatever. Just sit back here, watch your snipers back, get ready to come over and play cart, or get ready to like walk in through here if your team really wants to fight this. You should be able to look at the game and determine where you're most useful in that moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions?
I'm moving this. Moving out.
Not really. Thank you.
All right, sounds like the students have been blessed with knowledge. You may go, and your grade will be given to you when you play your match.
We can't wait, bro.
Alrighty.
One side question. Does your spy usually change?
It's 3 inches long. Thanks for asking.
Ah, thanks. What does your spy usually run most of the time for a watch?
Don't. Yeah, don't. I don't know. I don't. No, don't. Figure it out for yourself. Sometimes Dead Ringer's fine. Sometimes, if it's this question for like what my spy does, I mean, my man Dave is a cloak and dagger spy, so he will sit there and provide information until we take the push, and then he will decloak and sap the gun and go huge, and that's it. But other spies are also more creative, and it's like you have options. You really do. Don't feel stuck doing one thing. I can't tell you to run one watch over another. Yeah, depends on what's going on in the game.
Alright. Sweet. Alright, well, have a good night, brother.
Alrighty, fellas.
Alright, have a good night. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good night, gamers. Bye.